Welcome to the movies that me up. I am Joe the psychologist, and in this episode, I'm going to be doing a sequel to a movie that has appeared in this series. I will be talking about the Tom Six movie, The Human Centipede 2. The movie was banned in the UK, Australia, and New Zealand. And in the UK, it was banned even for distribution. Eventually, all of these were lifted. There was a man who was watching the movie The Human Centipede. As the movie starts to pan out, you got a good look at him. And you know what? The Golden Glove. I thought Fritz Honka was ugly. The guy in this movie was really hard to look at. I'm sorry to the actor. Because we meet Martin Lomax, who lives with his mother. Now, Martin and his mother pretty much hate each other. You see, Martin was abused physically and sexually by his father, which is why his father was in jail. And the mother was kind of pissed off at Martin for putting him in jail. Listen, if you turn on the lights to your room to find your mother stabbing into the bed, thinking that that was you in the bed, it is time to move out. Fun fact, Tom Six, when he premiered this, had provided the audience with barf bags, and he thought as a gimmick having an ambulance outside. Well, it turns out that he actually needed the paramedics for someone who had gotten sick and passed out from the movie. Anyways, Martin had been working at this parking garage, and this is where he was kidnapping his victims and then took them to a warehouse. I'll tell you why soon. You see, good old Marty had become obsessed with the human centipede, and he kept this scrapbook with all these pictures, and every once in a while he was looking through it, he would like put his fingers to his mouth and he would like touch himself, and it was kind of gross, like, ew. Honestly, like when they panned in on him licking his lips, like you were like, because there's even this one point where he is watching the movie
and he starts to jerk off.
And these two girls at the parking garage caught him and started laughing at him. Yeah, it did not work out well for them. Either way, watching him jerk off to the human centipede was fucking gross. Because good old Marty had become so obsessed that he wanted to make a new human centipede, not out of 3, but out of 12. And you know, this man has no medical training. He is literally a parking lot attendant. And this is what he wants to try. Well, he ended up getting a variety of people. It was just a whole group of people that he was going to piece together. And every time they kept crying or he needed to do something, he kept bludgeoning them in the head. I mean, there's so many times a person can take a hit to the head. So if you saw the first one, you knew that the doctor just described it. He didn't show it. Well, in this movie, you were going to get to see how it was kind of done the wrong way. Fun fact, Tom Six wanted to make sure that this movie, the first one, looked like My Little Pony. You sick little bastard. With that, this is why you are here. For the movies that f***ed me up. I'm going to need a shot for this. I would need a bunch. You see, good old Marty put his plan into play once he killed his mother. Remember, he's not a doctor, so the way that he went about doing this is not at all the way that doctor had done it. I have something about teeth and horror movies, especially the removal of them. I'm missing some teeth. You can ask my dentist. I was a big old pussy when I had to get these removed. Marty starts to pull out all these tools and utensils, and as you're watching them, you can kind of figure out what he's going to be using them for. And then he pulls out a hammer, and then you kind of go, shit. Ran my tongue along my teeth because I knew what was coming up. I mean, what else are you going to need a hammer for if you're going to be making a human centipede? And I was right, because Marty started to knock out his asshole neighbor's teeth. You heard the hammer. So when he started gurgling, I mean, first of all, as soon as the hammer hit, the guy was gurgling and I kind of started like getting nauseous. We're not done with the whole mouth thing, because have you ever bit your tongue? I mean, that shit hurts. Well, he ends up pulling out Miss Yenny That's the girl who ended up playing the middle section in the first part. Because he captured her, watch the movie, I'm not gonna tell you everything, but he pulled out her tongue, and that shit looked like it hurt. I am not good anything in horror involving my mouth. There is so much more in this movie that I can tell you was kind of gross. The birth, when you hit the brakes. And there is also the fact that I was prepared for the shit. And once again, not fully prepared for the shit. This is not what grossed me out. You see, body horror isn't just transformation. It's basically, like I said, getting your teeth knocked out. That's fucking body horror. But there was shit in this movie, but I knew that it was horror. It wasn't until good old Marty reacted to the smell of it that I got nauseous. You know, you could kind of feel what the stench of all that. Right, you know what? Watch the movie. I watch all movies. I watch sequels, especially to movies like this. I don't know if the third one is going to appear because I think for right now, I'm quite okay with centipedes, but you never know. Until next time, make sure that you check out these fucking gross movies. There is a reason that somebody's making them. I know that sometimes they push the boundaries and it goes a little overboard, but you know what? You gotta respect somebody who does a movie like this. So until next time, ta-ta for now.
Sir, this is where you work. This isn't right, man. What you doing?